in the court. Just Ruth Bader Ginsburg I've been too hot. Ruth Bader Ginsburg calls the session in order, and Margaret, Downey, me, will conduct this little podcast and Skeptrack for the parade participants. We had a great parade this year, 2024. And what I do is interview people about their experiences and why they chose to be in the parade and other little tidbits about their adventure to inspire others to join the parade in 2025 and beyond. So we're going to start with a very, very special friend and very special person, Mary Jackson, portrayed by Mandisa Thomas. Have a seat. I won't grill you too hard. Okay. There won't be any oral arguments to prepare for. So, welcome again. This is your second year portraying Mary Jackson.
Yes.
And I'm so proud to not only call you a friend, but to call you a great parade participant. So introduce yourself, tell us your organization, where you live, and all that.
Awesome. So thank you all very much, and thank you again, Margaret. I'm Mandisa Thomas, and I am the founder and president of Black Nonbelievers, which is headquartered in the Atlanta, Georgia area here. And our organization promotes skepticism, evidence-based practices, humanist values, and if you are questioning your religious beliefs in favor of leaving, or if you have already left, and you identify as an atheist, agnostic, humanist, skeptic, then we are the place for you. And I live in the Atlanta area and have been participating in DragonCon since 2014. And we did my first parade was in 2016. So,
and you were with your sons.
I think 2015 was the first year. The following year, they were in the parade.
They were great.
Yes.
So what happened this year that is memorable to you participating in the parade?
So I think for me, it's always great to be in a parade with you and all of the other participants. It's been great to see all of the different costumes that we have, especially with the Skeptrack. And what's great is to see all of the young people that attend the parade. Mm-hmm. And somebody said, well, look at that black job. Yes. Yep. And so as we are looking at our current political climate, it is always important to me. Black history is important to me all year round.
Absolutely.
And history in general.
And we designed the signs, but particularly to point out black, female, engineer.
Yes. Because there are still people who may not even know about Mary Jackson. They may have seen the movie Hidden Figures, mm-hmm. and just may not remember. But this is history in the making, modern history. And so I think it's important for us to continue that, to continue that education and that critical thought, and to let kids know that this is aspirational, that they can also become an engineer if they aspire to.
That's the message of the Skeptics, education, inspiring, passionate, and you have it all. Thank you, Mandisa.
Thank you, Margaret. Yay.
I am going to call up two other historical characters, Ida B. Wells and Albert Einstein. Woo! Ida is so popular in the parade. They yell her name, and they don't even know it's the famous comedian, Leanne Lord.
I am absolutely fine being overshadowed by history.
So let's start with you, Leanne, and tell me, did you have any great adventures this time? How many years have you portrayed Ida B. Wells?
Actually, a memory popped up on my phone of me dressed in my various incarnations of Ida B. Wells, and I've been doing it for 5 years. Although I wasn't here last year, I took a couple of years off for health reasons, and so I was reprising this role, and I forgot a little bit how amazing it was because partway, well, let me take a step back. I did not learn about Ida B. Wells in school. And it is so heartening to see people along the parade route who obviously are getting or have gotten a better education, or they've educated themselves and they realize what her role was in the nascent civil rights movement. She was a journalist and she actually did research about the real cause of lynching and the extent to which it was being done. And she did this at risk to her own safety. And so she is absolutely a pioneer. And usually, and it absolutely happened partway through the parade route, I felt the weight of who I was representing. I felt that history. I felt how important she was. As I see people are looking me in my face, yelling Ida, and one girl was just like, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am." And I teared up. Like, it's right?
Right.
And you know, my back got a little straighter. The Spanx didn't feel as tight. And it was, it's always was and still is an honor to stand in her shoes, or her in my sneakers, whichever you want.
Well, we love you in the parade because we know that people are going to learn something, remember the importance of Ida B. Wells, and thank you for portraying her so well. And Mr. Einstein.
I totally thought I was Mark Twain. Oh, shoot.
I even gave you the briefcase to carry.
Every time I say the same stupid joke. All right. You know, it was. It's interesting because I think this year, I mean, every year there's. It's always kids too. Like kids just love Einstein. But this year, I think even a little bit more. I think partly because of the Oppenheimer movie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
which I was saying, next time we should have had an Oppenheimer to walk with Barbie. Then we could have been Barbenheimer. That was the thing. But I think because of that, even more renewed, you know, people are, I mean, everybody loves or knows Einstein. So it's like you just, you know, Einstein, you hear people yelling the whole time. I mean, it's fun. It's interesting. It's like, I never know how I'm supposed to act as Einstein. I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to twerk, honey. You're supposed to stop and like,
Yeah, is that what it is? Yeah. Just like he would have done, yeah.
Actually, he was pretty eccentric.
Yeah, I was about to say, Einstein turned up at a party or two.
Riding bikes like a clown. And
I just always give everybody the peace sign.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, sure. That's good. That's a good one.
But yeah, it's just interesting. Like it's always 90% of it is like little kids. Like not, I mean, like, you know, 6, 7, 8, 10. You know, the Einstein, like just, which is it's kind of cool. Like when you think, you know, I mean, I'm always like Leanne was saying, I'm always surprised at how many times I hear people yelling Ida, and I'm like, same thing. I'm like, I kind of, you know, knew a little bit about.
Right.
But they didn't really teach us about that stuff. So it's kind of interesting when I'm like, are these kids getting this information from us walking by and who's that? I'll look it up. Or are they being taught in school now? Like, what is this? I don't know. But
no,
it's cool.
the difference for that would have been Einstein.
Yeah.
Then they would, no, it's Einstein. They
Yeah.
know, or Ida. They
Yeah.
are. At least that is what I am telling myself.
Yeah.
I think you can get away with that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for portraying these wonderful characters for us. Ian Harris, a famous comedian from California, famous comedian Leanne Lord from New York City. Look them up. Find out where they're playing next.
Next, we will be here on Sunday, 10 p.m., Gigapalooza. Don't miss it. Not in costume.
That's next, yes. You don't have to travel far to see them.
Right.
Thanks again. And we're going to call up some fun characters. We're going to call up the Media Fellow and the Truth Fairy. Ah, yes. There they come. And let's get the farmer up here, too, because we have 3 spots available. There we go. So we have that section called Pun Fun, and I'm going to let you self-introduce as we go down. And when you introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and what great experience you had today.
Okay, my name's Jim Kowalson. I'm from New Jersey. Me and my two daughters are all here today. It's not here in the crowd right now. They're busy doing something else. What I found, I kind of found myself today changing a little bit what I was doing, because I was doing mainly about the fake news. But then I started to notice that most of the kids did not know that we had an astronaut in that car. I may have had a little sign, and then I started to go back and forth and saying, especially to the young girls, and I was saying, she has 500 hours in space. She's an astronaut. And one of the parents then said to me, that's what she wants to be.
Oh, wow.
So that was
Now
kind of
that's
interesting.
special.
That was kind of special and kind of interesting.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so great. Thank you, Jim.
So, I'm the truth. I'm the truth fairy. My name's John Anderson. I'm actually from Mississippi now. Just moved there a couple years ago with my wife. And this is my 5th year on the parade as the truth fairy. Mm-hmm. And it's always spectacular every year. My favorite part is showing up and not knowing what fun characters, what historical characters you've brewed up. And so I don't know who knows and who doesn't, but Margaret makes these costumes, and she's put so much time and effort into this parade, and this would not be possible without her.
Thank you. I
So,
love it.
I appreciate the opportunity every year to come out here and represent the Truth Fairy, and I get all these little kids and these grown-ups, and they're like, oh, it's the Tooth Fairy, you're going to come see us, and I'm like, no, that's my cousin.
The untruth fairy. So, do you have the pliers when you see the
Always,
kids? Oh,
always.
yeah. And the original truth fairy was Kirk Anderson, your dad.
All right.
Yeah. So you kind of followed the family business. So we have the skeptical farmer. And to get the joke, you have to see the whole sign. So there you go.
I'm Kelly King, the Skeptic Farmer. I am the affiliate leader of the Black Nonbelievers of Metro Detroit. This is my first DragonCon experience, first parade, everything. And this
Pop
will not
the
be
champagne.
and this would not be my last. I had a very enjoyable time, meeting wonderful people. It was a nice walk, but it wasn't bad, you know. I enjoyed myself.
Great. Well, thank
Learned
you
a lot
for
of
joining us.
information.
Did anything stand out during this day that you want to share?
No. I liked how everything flowed and the different people. It was a lot of the Ida Wells. I did not know about her, so I'm going to have to research.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I heard about her, but I did not know everything that she did, so I'm going to have to research.
Okay, you'll love it.
So,
You'll love
yeah.
it. A great story of.
But I appreciate you guys for letting me join and being here today.
Thank you, Kelly.
I had very good fun.
Well, thanks. Let's have a big hand for all three of our fun characters. So let's go back in history again. We have Aspasia, and who else is a historical character? Do we have anyone else? Come on up. Yeah. And I kind of threw this at Bonita. I'm sorry, but Hypatia was taken for a while, where the sign disappeared, and the only sign I had left for you was Aspasia.
That's totally fine.
And here comes Governor Phipps. Doesn't believe in ghosts and witches. So we'll start with Bonita. Self-introduction. Tell us where you're from, and give us a highlight of one of the things that happened today.
Okay, I'm Bonita. I'm from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I am the Truth Fairy's mother. I portrayed Aspasia, the 5th century Athenian philosopher, politician, and educator. Every year I learn something new. This year it just really hit me that Aspasia didn't think, I'm going to be a philosopher, I'm going to be a politician, I'm going to be an educator. She thought, I'm going to live my life in truth, and I'm going to teach people as best I can. We're the people that put the titles on her. So she was just living her life, being part of history. We have history being made right now, this year, the first female candidate running for president. Yay. And that is partially in respects to Aspasia. She helped create that. She helped build the foundation for that. So whatever it is that you believe in, that is your truth, help build that foundation. It's not necessarily for you or for the next generation even, but eventually people will understand your truth and it will become their truth as well.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes. Haramfase, no to spectral evidence. No such thing as ghosts and other magic.
So Stephen Ball is from Texas. And
Howdy, y'all.
and he's an attorney. What is it called?
I'm a software engineer.
No. You're a member of the DragonCon, some kind of elite.
Eternals.
Eternals. Yes. He's an Eternal.
What?
Oh, wow,
okay.
you can't get that anymore.
Wow.
So he's got
feel
some
very
very
special
special credentials.
Yes.
So thank you so much. He's usually our Galileo, but
Galileo's under house arrest, he told me.
the Christians have Galileo. But yes, we really appreciate you putting on that weird wig and coming out and portraying Governor Phipps, because we want people to learn that Governor Phipps actually stopped the witch trials because he would not allow spectral evidence into court.
Little trivia, it was his lieutenant governor that allowed it in the first place.
Very good, very good. Little known trivia.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again. So let's bring up some professions. Do we have any professions out there? I was hoping to put off the banners and the space for, isn't there a geologist, a paleontologist, somebody else? No paleontologists? I'm a paleontologist. Oh, you're the paleontologist, okay. And didn't we have somebody else that?
There was a firefighter.
The firefighter. Oh, darn. So some people get so overheated in the parade that, they bail out and go and get some food and some water. So our sessions after the parade are sometimes a little short of the participants. But you need to know, if you're watching this, we had a firefighter, we had a geologist, we had, who else? We had Arkham's shaving cream instead of the razor.
He was here too.
Yeah, and Plato, Plato was fantastic. This and Diogenes.
They overheated.
They overheated, I guess. So tell us about yourself.
I'm Gary Dean. I live here in Atlanta, and for the second year, I was the paleontologist. Thank you very much for that honor.
You look so good.
Oh, thank you. No bones about it. Yeah, I have a pun and a prop, so I'm very popular with the kids. And that's my favorite part, is the kids hollering paleontologist or just dinosaur, and going over there and interacting with them and them telling me, I'm going to be a paleontologist.
That's so great. That's so great. Well, one of these years, they brought back the fact that you can actually give treats to people on the street. They put it into the rules that we cannot, throw things, but having that back, I think we should try to work out, dinosaur things or other things that relate to the characters. Oh, ribbons. Yeah, that's what we'll do next year then. We always improve things, year after year, because we learn. But
I learned one thing.
Yes, Steve.
I cannot compete with Barbie. I had to go to the other side of the street.
Where is Barbie? I don't see. She's there? Oh my gosh. Okay, we're done with you.
Thank you.
Come on, Barbie. Oh, everybody say hi, Barbie. Okay. Can you help her up the stage? There we go. I didn't see you in the audience. I'm so happy you're here. Let's put the box on that side. Have a seat. So, self-introduction and where you're from, and then give us some highlights of the parade.
I'm from so many places. Hi guys, I am Kimberly, aka Pinky, aka Barbie, and I'm from Jamaica, now residing in Baltimore. And it is my first time at DragonCon, and I'm loving it. The kids were so amazing. They were like, Barbie! I loved it.
And we purposely placed you near the astronaut's car, thanks to the movie, the Barbie movie. So her sign really made sense to be near. In fact, the Katie Coleman, the astronaut, actually held this sign for a while.
She did. She was like, I'll hold the sign for you. She was a sport. I loved it. Yes. She was definitely a sport. Loved it.
So what was one of the things that stood out to you?
The kids. Oh my God. I love the kids. They were so happy. Everybody wanted to take pictures. I was there for it. I was definitely here for it.
I did
loved
see
it.
that.
Yes.
That was great fun.
I was definitely out of where I'm supposed to be, but you know, anything for the kids.
That's
Loved
right.
it.
That's right. And would you come back again?
Of course, no doubt about it. Definitely. I should be here every year after this now.
Oh, that's so
Do I
great.
play Barbie again?
Kimberly.
Yes.
Well, and I saw you changed into sensible shoes.
Yes. So you know, Barbie is definitely a heels girl, but sometimes we can take it flat.
Yes. And well, anything goes.
Yes.
You know, you could have even worn Birkenstocks. So.
There you go. But I loved it. It was so amazing to walk. You know, if my foot didn't ring a little bit, I would have probably go heels all the way, but it was amazing.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Well, thanks again.
Thank
and
you
we
so
hope to
much for
see you.
having me.
Thank
I loved
you.
it.
Great.
Yay.
And she
Yay,
supplied her own
yay.
costume. I didn't have to do a thing
Yes.
except for supply the sign.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Okay, so after this, I think the banner carriers should come up. Oh, I called for historical people and Frida did, banner carriers, hold on. So Frida, you should have come up for historical characters and yes, Madam Curie. I guess I should announce things louder.
Well, we don't want to be presumptuous, you know, we're just hardworking women.
So we're going to have you say your name, where you're from, give us some information about your character, and give us.
I'm Christine Jones. I'm from LA. I'm the president of Atheists United in Los Angeles, and I've been in this parade. This is my third year, and the last 2 years were as Hypatia. My first year as Frida Kahlo. So yay! Yeah, I love Frida. She is a Mexican painter from the turn of the 20th century. She is very forward-looking, and she speaks out for the indigenous, for the working class, and for women. So, yeah, I love Frida.
And was anything special today that happened that you want to share?
The crowds, I don't know, the crowds were different this year. I thought were there more people this year? I don't know. But it seemed like there were more.
It seemed longer to me.
Yeah?
It seemed like it was a little longer, and we had to wait a long time to actually get in line, and the group ahead of us was 70 people, in the illusion category. What is it? Delusion. Oh, the delusion. Oh, okay. I couldn't see that.
They were behind us, right?
No, they were in front of us.
Oh, okay.
The horror people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was really interesting to watch that. But thank you
Yeah,
for
it was a lot
being
of fun.
Frida. I think she makes a wonderful Frida, don't you? Yeah.
Great.
So I'm Kathy Miller. I'm currently reside in Huntsville, Alabama, and I've been playing Dr. Curie for a long time. My
I think
husband might
10
have to
years.
help me, maybe. Do you
Yeah.
think 10?
I think so.
You think? Close to it. I've been around a while. But I love that I saw recognition in people's eyes or puzzlement. You know, I don't know why I didn't notice that in previous years, but I did. And so it gravitated me. I love Plato. He's not here today, but I'm giving him a shout out because he gave me shout outs throughout the parade. And we kind of played off of each other because he kept talking about how important it is to ask questions. And I used a quote, I'm not sure I can do it verbatim, but Dr. Curie believed that there was nothing to fear, it was only more to understand. And I thought that that worked so well in playing off of that foundation. Who knows that she didn't love Plato? You know, I need to find that out.
Yeah.
But just the amazement on young women's faces when they didn't know who she was. And I pointed out that in the 19th century, she was a scientist, and that was very rare. And then, of course, that she won 2 Nobel Prizes, still the only woman that's done that. And that she has 2 elements on the periodic table named after her. And I went to find the periodic table and didn't have my picture made this year with the elements, but I did with the group.
Oh, that's
Because
great.
I love making that connection, and that's one thing I love about Skeptics is that we make connections outside of this group that's labeled Skeptics. People come to see us, they see us in the parade, they see us in the Skeptic track, because there is an authenticity here. And I love how much of that is shown
And
in
there's
the
no other
history.
place that Skeptics can reach 90,000 people on the street, and then millions who watch it on the CW. And what we portray is education, inspiration, fun, you know, with our puns, and I think it's really important for us to be out there as good PR for
Yes.
Skeptics.
So thank you, Margaret, so much for the opportunity. We've come to let me own this one.
Yes,
and I
yes.
appreciate that a
She
great deal.
designed and made her own costume, as did Frida. I think I just supplied the top.
Yeah. So one correction, we have to give credit. I did kind of design it, but I have a lovely seamstress that has a company called Lejeune Signature Designs, you can find her online, that made my blouse from a photograph. That's how talented this woman is, and then made my skirt, so I'm not the seamstress. And, fun fact, I have a church lady friend who made the hat for me.
Well, great job, both of you. Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thanks.
So we had the banner carriers next. There they come. Thanks a lot. We could not have a parade entry without banner carriers. This is why I named the costume Skeptic Heroes, because without them, there'd be nothing. Come on, suit your mic. In fact, we're going to start with you.
Sure.
And it's going to be, say your name, where you're from, give us a good story about today, and maybe an additional private story, if you're feeling up to it.
All right. Well, I'm Chad Harris. I'm from the Birmingham, Alabama area, and this is my 15th DragonCon, first year here, or first year in the parade. So, great opportunity. Thank you so much for it. So, one of my favorite things that happened during the parade was as we were walking up, I think close to the Truist Tower, there was this one kid, he was probably about 8 or 9 years old. He saw the banner and immediately said, "Science rules!" And I was like, so for those who might know, I was raised in a fundamentalist cult, a homeschooling cult, where we were not taught such things. And to hear that from a kid who saw the term skepticism and immediately made the connection with science, that just tugged at my heartstrings. So that was epic, and that made my DragonCon right there.
Now, that's the kind of personal story I like to hear. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Next is?
My name is Sean McGonigal. I'm from Philadelphia. I've been coming to DragonCon since 2009, since I was helping Margaret out as a volunteer one year.
I captured him.
And I've been coming most years ever since, I believe. And this was actually the first time I've not only seen the parade, but of course I've been in it for the first time. And it was a lot of fun, actually. I was really excited to see kids being excited about science, because as somebody who's done a little bit of teaching, that's not always the case. But it was a lot of fun.
Thank you for being here, Sean.
Thanks.
Actually, Sean was my assistant. He lives in Pennsylvania,
Mhm.
and he was just going to college when I met him, and we've been friends ever since.
Yep.
Yeah, so thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Phoenix. This lady wrestled me down, so like Sean, she wrestled me down. She's like, "Hey, you want to be in the parade?" I'm like, "Sure, yeah." So, I will say, I am a skeptics enthusiast, not a full blown skeptic, but I enjoyed the parade. I enjoyed everything that, and I've been coming since 07, and this is my first parade, so it was really dope, and I really enjoyed it. And one thing, like what's her name?
D.
Oh, Chad.
Chad, yeah. Like Chad, I had a moment as well where a kid, remember Chad, the kid in the she was in the Padme.
Yes.
Yeah, the Padme kid. She came in and we were like skeptics. She was like skeptics, and she was in the Queen Amidala outfit, and she couldn't have been no more than about, oh God, maybe 4 or something like that. Yeah, that made my DragonCon forever. So
That's
yeah.
so great.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I wrangled you in. And he was so cute. He's like, what are you? Who was? He came in the room, and I kind of convinced him. So I'm so glad you're here, and you're always welcome with the Skeptics. Okay.
Yep. I was.
You found us.
Yep.
All right.
I am Bill Creasy. I'm representing the Washington area secular humanists. I've been here 5 years or something like that. Old friend of Margaret's. And
Wait a minute. Don't say old.
Okay, well, I'm
A
old.
long-time friend.
A long-time friend. I'm old. You're not. She never gets older. And this parade is just amazing. As I keep saying, you can see the parade from the sidewalk, but you can't see the audience unless you're in the parade. And the audience is just incredible, because you're walking down the street, you can hear people cheering 10 or 15 feet. They start cheering for the skeptics, and yay science. And it's just. I work as a scientist. There aren't many places you can get cheered on the street. It's just incredible.
Well, thank you all. Like I said, we could not do it without you. In fact, we had to leave one sign behind this morning because we needed actually 5 banner carriers to carry the Skeptics in History sign. So next year, we're going to strive for 5 banner carriers so that we can put back our Skeptics in History sign. But thanks for everything you did today. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we're going to call up the drivers of the star cars, the passengers, and is Katie Coleman here? Oh, well, I'm here.
But I'm here, and I will be her representative.
Good. So I don't think Angie needs to self-introduce because everybody knows Angie.
Hi, Barbie.
But that's how it's going to work. Self-introduction, tell us where you're from, and what memorable thing you had happened today, and then some.
Okay, well, I have a lot because I spent all morning with Katie. Dr. Angie, hi, Assistant Director of the Skeptrack, and Big Mouth, and everything. So one of my favorite things was before the parade even started. So one of the best things about the parade is that you get to see the costumes and everything up close, and you can get posed, and of course everybody wanted to take pictures with Katie. So I got my Porsche pink wrapped. So now I've got this astronaut that's going to be riding in the back of my car. We're dressed as Barbies, and before you go, you try to go to the bathroom and everything before the parade because, even Barbies pee. So, so we're coming back, and the sanitation workers who clean the parade afterwards, they're also kind of sitting there waiting for the parade to get started so they can kind of clean up along behind us. I mentioned it to Katie, and we were talking, and she's like, I need to go talk to them and thank them. And I said, you know what? I need to go with you. And so we went over. And I said, and I said that, that this is a real astronaut. She wants to thank you because you do such a hard job and wants to make sure that you're acknowledged. And they're like, for real? And I'm like, yep, this is her actual work flight suit. I mean, that she wore while she was working. This is her day job. And they started asking skeptical questions. Is the Earth really flat?
Oh my
God.
God.
Is it really round? Yes. They had this whole conversation. I've got a video, like a minute-long video of her talking to the, like 8 or 10, because they were kind of coming in and out. But, and so that was the first question was, is the Earth flat?
Oh my God.
Then the second guy asked, are there aliens? And well, that's exactly what Katie said. She believes there probably were, but that they probably haven't been here. So I was really amazed at just the simplest interaction with folks who don't normally interact with the skeptical community. They've got skeptical questions. They really do, and they wanted to know. And I loved that moment. Mm-hmm. And then one of my other favorite moments was when Officer Ken walked by. Wow. So
Officer
the guy,
Ken, get it?
So the guy who runs the police department, organization of the police department for the parade, happened to walk right by me with his son, and they've been coming, how many years they say?
I don't know, 13 years or something?
Something like that. Well, anyway, the kid was like, I don't know, 8 or 9, something. And I said, I said, hi, Ken, because I'm just saying, hi, Barbie, hi, Ken. Mm-hmm. Anyway, and I look, and that guy really looks like Ken, and I'm like, oh, Officer Ken, come here. And so we got a bunch of pictures with him and with his son, and he told us about that, and that he had done the thing, and he took a bunch of pictures with Katie and everything, and we've got pictures, and I'll give them to you later. But anyway, so that was a lot of fun to actually interact with people that I don't normally have the time or not energy, but like I'm usually busy and I can't interact with folks like here in Atlanta that help make this parade happen for us. And so that was probably one of my favorite moments. And then, of course, everybody saw Katie in the parade, and she yoinked that Yay Space sign so hard. And so she's carrying the sign in the back of the Porsche going, Yay Space, Yay Space! And everybody's going, Yay Space, Yay Space! And then Celeste just starts yelling, the Earth's not flat, she's checked. And so those were some of my favorite moments.
That got some reactions, and you could see as we drove. Now, number one, there are not many people in the world who could get me to wear a matching pink outfit and earrings and a visor and
sparkly visor.
Yeah, but Angie's like, I used to walk in the parade. COVID knocked me for a loop last year, and my cardio has not recovered. And I'm like, I can't walk the parade. I would love to. And she's like, you're going to be in the car with me. I'm like, oh, okay.
I have a solution.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And as we drove down, the people from the sidelines, you could tell many of them had probably seen, Katie Coleman's image in the special guests section, and they were waiting for her. Mm-hmm. And they were like, there. And they were like, Yay Space.
Yep.
They were some guy was like, that's a real superhero.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Yeah, and I heard a lot of stuff like that, and saw, and then there were some kids who were just thrilled that Barbie waved to them and said, "Hi, Barbie," or "Hi, Ken."
Yes.
And
yes.
there was an individual with Down syndrome we passed by. I
saw that one.
I went, "Hi, Ken," and he looked and he smiled, and then he looked down at his outfit, and he was excited, and everybody was excited just to see the Barbie car, and we had so many people going, "It's Astronaut Barbie!"
Yep.
Oh.
Even Katie was saying, "I'm Astronaut Barbie!"
Yeah. And I said, "Katie, did you actually have an Astronaut Barbie?" And I said, and she said, "Yes, not as a kid."
So
wonderful lady forgot to say that she's Celestia Ward.
I'm Celestia Ward. I'll be speaking on Sunday about art and skepticism.
Yeah, and she's from Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada, and
Nevada. I've been
Nevada.
told it's Nevada.
Oh, it's Nevada.
Yeah.
Okay. And she's yeah, and does wonderful work. The name of her business is Two Heads Studio. Look her up.
Oh yeah,
yes.
I was like, the Skeptic Track needs ribbons. Everybody cool has ribbons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so we have ribbons this year.
She drew the dinosaur or the dragon on our ribbons. So it's this guy, but in Celestia's
I had to do it
version.
quickly, and I couldn't wait for the file, so I'm like, I'm just going to draw one.
Listen, it was fantastic.
And now we know we can give them away next year to the kids.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes. Well, I'd given some to Katie, but like nobody was coming to the car.
No.
So
Yeah.
so
Well, there
we
was
didn't-
one person that ran up to the car and,
Oh, right.
and kissed her.
Kissed her on the lips.
And we were like, I hope you knew him. She's like, yes, he's my friend. Yeah, I know.
Wow. So we want to introduce the driver of Ruth Bader Ginsburg's car. This is Chuck. And go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Chuck Miller. I currently live in Huntsville, Alabama, home of the Marshall Space Flight Center. That's why I moved there. Yay, space.
And you drove the car.
I drove the car.
That I was in
And-
at the last minute.
Oh my gosh, that was such a kerfuffle. So did you already explain the
No.
story? Oh gosh. So we got late notice yesterday, and I feel bad because we had promised it to the Skeptic Track, but we got late notice yesterday that there was a severe scheduling conflict and John Delancey was not going to be able to be part of our parade, even though he desperately wanted to, it just couldn't happen. So we all kind of, after we spent about 30 seconds flipping out, we came up with a solution because Ruth Bader Ginsburg was so popular last year that we
I
were
realized
able to.
I didnidn't take the costume home, that it was
Thank
still
goodness
there.
for that.
Yeah.
So, yep. Anyway, so thank you very much for reprising your role. So this is Ruth Redux. Is that the Electric Boogaloo? Is Ruth 2 Electric Boogaloo? Okay, it's just, I know, it's late. I'm tired too. So,
Second year as Ruth.
second year, yeah,
okay.
Ruth 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Okay, there
Got
you
it.
go.
All
And
right.
so many people along the route yelled out,
think people would get funny.
RBG, and making heart signs and
Yep.
throwing kisses and, come back, come back.
Did you see the same level of emotion this year that we saw last year?
No, and I think it was, for several reasons.
Mhm.
One is that we had the astronaut in front.
Yes, Margaret insisted
Yes, she'd
that the
already-
astronaut be in front. Yeah.
I insisted on that.
Yeah.
But also Barbie was there.
Yeah.
And, and it's the second year. For the first year, it was a shock to the audience that there was an RBG.
It was.
Yeah.
It really was.
And so they got a lot of reaction, but a lot of love this year.
Well, we had just undergone some major Supreme Court decisions
Right.
that were not
Right.
as popular as
Right.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg was.
Yeah.
And so it was the outpouring of
People cried.
genuine emotion. Yeah.
Yeah, people cried.
And genuine emotion last year with RBG, and then so I was. But I'm glad to see people were still enthusiastic. I saw them talking about, in the rearview mirror, I could see them.
Hmm. And also, when I had an opportunity, when Chuck could, to go a little slower, and I could look at people, I'd say, vote, 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 vote. People started to say that, and I would say, I dissent. And they go, we dissent.
I love that.
So that was a good chant.
I've got to say, there's got to be more reading and less TV, though, because you were misidentified a few times as Judge Judy.
Oh, no. Oh.
I wanted to get out of the car and start educating.
That makes me so mad.
Right. Well,
we only have 38 seconds. Oh.
Well, Margaret does all of this, so she deserves all of the applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
She has raised our profile, and Skylar texted me like, "You're on TV right now," and then my mom has texted me before, "You're on the what's the name of it, the CW,
Yeah.
the channel here in Atlanta."
But this could not happen unless I had Angie as my dear friend who stores the costumes, delivers the costumes, houses me for several days after the parade to wash the costumes. So I want to thank
And
Angie.
I watched you do all that. No,
Yeah.
it's Mutual Admiration Society. That she works so hard. I feel like it's the least I can do.
And I also want to thank my assistant, Christina Jones, our Frida. She helps so much.
Definitely.
Thank you. And thanks again for a wonderful year, and I will see you in 2025 and around the con.
Yep.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, there's snacks. I took the trouble to buy snacks.
Now you're telling us there's
I
snacks?
know. I ran in here and Mark says, "You're on."
Okay. Where are the snacks? Where can
Snacks
we find
are over there.
Yay,
Help
okay.
yourself, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.